Hi everybody, welcome back. I just thought I would do a quick video for you this afternoon. I happened to receive my Pan Pastels in the mail, and I had read about these and I've watched YouTube videos on these where they work with clay. And so I just thought, oh, those are lovely, just such lovely colors, and I just thought I would try them. I usually use Pearl X when I want to have a little color, and that just, it turns out really pretty, but it just gets all over. And this, sometimes, I tried earlier before I did this video, and this might get a little bit outside of the container, but it's not nearly as bad at spreading as the Pearl X is. In fact, sometimes I think I inhale the Pearl X. And yes, you should wear a mask. Not that we don't have them. We have them now. So anyway, I thought I would let you come along with me while I just try something I haven't done before. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a stencil. And the stencil is rather large. Let me show it to you. But it has flowers on it. And so what I thought I would do is try to stencil something onto this piece of clay that this is Pearl, and I ran it on a 0 on my Atlas 180, and that is the widest setting. And so I don't know, at random took like a 3x3, maybe it's a little bit bigger than that. But I just want to try it at first and see how this works. When I tried them a little bit earlier, I tried it on a used piece of clay, basically, and so I want to really see what it does on a fresh piece of clay. And I do have some in the oven that I'm trying to see what they are going to look like, even if they were on some old clay. But let's try this and see how it works. I don't know if you've worked with them before. From what I understand, the Pan Pastels come from a dried pigment, some chalk, and then a binder that holds it together. And oh, gee whiz, the colors that you can get in them are just so lovely. I have a few other colors too, but these are the ones I've chosen for today. So we'll see how it goes. Let's get started. And these little sponge sticks, you can use those, and I may, as you can see, the colors don't really come out of them after you have used them. But earlier I just used my finger, and I ended up also using a very soft brush. So let's try it. Let's just get to it and let's try it. So I'm going to open up my Pan Pastels and kind of set them up at the top until I need them. Or maybe it's at the bottom for you. Okay, and one more. So I've got lilac, orange, a very light green, and a pretty pink. Let's see what happens, shall we? Let's just see what happens. I think I'm going to move this down just a hair. There we go. Move it over here a little bit. And we'll see what happens. I have decided I would use this part of the stencil. It looks like it has two. Yeah, maybe I can use it. As you can see, if you hold it over the white, you can tell what it is better. And maybe I will just do that. I might have to move this down a little bit in order to get this. You know what I'm going to do? Move my Pan Pastels off to the side. Just trying to get everything in picture so you can see it. But this might work better. Okay, let's get these off to the side and bring it back down a little bit. Oh, see? I touched it and I got a little bit on it. I don't know how easily that comes off. I'm going to try a tissue. Oh, not too bad. You can kind of tissue that off if you do it by accident. I wouldn't use anything wet, like a wet wipe or anything. It still shows a little bit, but we'll see if we can't get past that. And there might be a little something there too, some pink. But this is practice, so let's see how it goes. I'm going to put this, let's see here, like that. And so we can, yes, be able to get a little bit This actually, this, lift it up a little bit. This stencil is for a wall, if you want it, or a table or something. You can get other stencils that would stick to your clay better than this. This is all I had, and I thought, well, it's gonna work, it'll be fine. So I'm just kind of embedding it, not really embedding it, but pushing it down so it will stay on the clay as I work. I'll show you what I used earlier. I used this brush earlier. I also used this little bitty brush, and I may do that. I may resort to that, so we'll see what happens here. Let's see if I can adjust the camera just a hair here. All right. Let's start off with this really pretty pink. I'm going to use my finger at first and see what happens. And I'm going to try this flower right here. Ooh, isn't that beautiful? And what I have noticed, and what I noticed earlier, is that you can, you know, get it a little bit deeper pink if you go back and just get a little bit more of it on there. Now, I don't know how this is going to work. We'll see once I take it off. But that is really pretty. I'll blow on it a little bit. All right, so that's a pink one. And now I think I'm going to do a, a purple. I'm going to do a purple. So I'll pull the purple over here. And let's try one of the sticks. Let's try this wider one. I'm just going to try the stick. Remember, this is just practice. We're going to see how it looks, and I don't want to get too much on, but we'll see. Oh, that's pretty, isn't it? How pretty is that? And it's kind of like a painting. You just kind of swipe it across. And these sponge sticks have something protruding up into the sponge, and it's hard. So I don't want to press too hard and get that mark on the clay, but I do want to get more color here. So it's kind of like painting. It's really rather calming. These are just so lovely. These colors are beautiful. Isn't that pretty? You know what I'm noticing is that I can take it all the way to the edge with this. With my finger, I couldn't. You know what I might do? I might just do it anyway with this. I'm going to come back in, even though this is colored, I think it'll just pick up the pink, okay? And I'm going to come back and I'm going to see if I can get the, yes, that's better. That's better. So with this type of a thing, I think I would use one of these most of the time. If you have a free piece of clay that doesn't have edges, like these have edges, you can use your finger easier, I believe. All right, I see a little spot here I kind of didn't get. Get that a little bit darker right there. Okay. Now there is a little flower kind of sticking out over here, and I think I'm going to make that this orange color. So I'll get another stick, and I'm using this pretty orange. There you go. Now you can see it, I think. And so I'm going to just put it on, and we'll see what happens. Oh, that's pretty too. Kind of hard not to like these gorgeous colors that they have. In just a second, I'll go get the sheet to tell you where I ordered it from. I believe it was out of Michigan. DAKOTA Arts or something like that. I don't know, kind of rang a bell when I looked it up on the internet because I'm originally from South Dakota. Okay, that's pretty. Maybe just try and get a little bit darker right there. Oh, it'd be fun to see how this turns out. if it bleeds into the rest of the clay or not. And here's a bud. And I think that bud, I think I'm going to go with pink on that bud. And go back to this. Boy, this goes on smooth. I don't know if you can tell how smooth it is, but it's beautiful. Yeah. We'll see how this works. All right, now I'm going to do the green. So I'm going to move these out of the way. And I see that I dropped some of the purple, so I'm going to get a little bit of that. It doesn't come flying up into my nose though, like Pearl X does. Still like Pearl X. It's beautiful, but this is something different and something new, and I like this too a lot. Okay, let's see. This was the purple side. I think I'll turn it around and I'll use the green. Maybe I'll come in here. I'll use the green now, and we'll see what we can come up with on the leaves here. We got quite a few leaves going on, so we'll just get all of them to be green. And I, excuse me, I have a lighter green, but I thought this, I mean, it's lighter than this. Let me see if this is the one. Yeah, this is just tint green, so you can see the difference here. So I'm going to use this darker one. And like I said, you can come back in and you can apply more and get the color to be a little bit darker. If you happen to apply this to black clay, you would have to put on a layer of the white pearlescent powder first. You want to make sure you have a decent background for your pastel paints. And if you want something made out of black clay, but yet you want to use some color with it, just be sure you use white before you put your color down. Okay. Isn't that lovely? I mean, you could make a great big sheet of clay if you'd like. And then, of course, when it's done, you lift this off and see how it turns out. Hopefully it'll turn out okay. We'll see. This is a first, so you're coming along for the ride. Hope you don't mind. And I'm going to also come in and get this little stem in here. Kind of get it on the end. This is very soothing to work with. For those of you that do like to work with clay and you like to have a little bit of color. Anyway, then you can come back in and use some cutters. And you decide what color you want. Maybe you want, I don't know, maybe you want a diamond shape, if you have a diamond shape cutter. Or maybe you want a heart shape or a square shape or an oval shape or a round shape. That's up to you to decide what you really want to do. I'm trying not to get those little bubbles, those little accent bubbles that you see there. Oh, I missed one, didn't I? Let me get that little orange petal that's sticking out here. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to continue on and get that little. I'm trying to hold this sponge lightly, and sometimes I want to press hard. Okay, so much for that, I think. I'm not happy with that. I want to get a little bit more green in here. You probably can't see it as clearly as I can see it, but I just feel like I might have missed a couple spots, and so just going to come back in and see how that works. because once I pick up, I'm going to show you what this is. The stencil. This, I just got this at, I think it was at Michael's. Anyway, this is what it is. It's that Deco Art stencil, and it shows it on a table right there, if you can see that. So that's really what this is for. Excuse me. Drippy nose. Okay, so I'm going to stop right there with the green. I think that you really, with these, with the stencils, you really need to make sure you have the color where you want it before you lift it. And let's see, what do I want to put? I didn't pick out something there. You know what I might do is I might put some gold there. I'm going to use this small brush, I think, and I'm going to put some gold on the dots, I believe, just very lightly. Just get those little dots gold, if I can. You know what would be good for this is one of those stiffle brushes where it's kind of stiff. It's not doing a whole lot here, I can see that. But I want the flowers to stand out more than the gold, but I still would like to see the dots since they're there. I don't know, we'll see. And I'm not sure what I'm going to make with this yet. I'm really into little birds and flowers and just nature lately. Just kind of enjoying that as I make some things. Pretty soon I'm going to have to stop and I'm going to have to put some things together instead of making things out of clay. I have to confess, my favorite thing to do is to play with the clay and not put things together. But I have put a lot of things together. So, and I made a deal with my sister today who lives down in Houston, Texas. She's been painting a lot, and I've got a brother that paints, and anyway, art kind of runs in our family. We each have our own thing. My dad was a good artist. My uncle was a good artist. Earlier, I made a video in a bedroom in our house, and behind me, I noticed that there was a print my uncle had drawn, my dad's brother, of the woods, and I think there were wolves in the woods. Anyway, he never took an art class in his life. I just was amazed with him. He's passed away. He was such a loving, kind man. All right, let's see. I can see that there is, I'm going to brush some of this way so it doesn't, there. All right, what do you guys think? Should we try it? Let's try it and see what it looks like. Okay, here we go. I'm going to move this too, or I'll bring that in a minute. Ready? Let's just see the reveal. Oh, whoa! I like that. Looks like I got a little something there. And I didn't cover up this pink, and I didn't cover that up, but oh, that's really pretty. Do you like it? I think that's just lovely. That is so pretty. Let me just grab something over here, and I can see that I'm kind of going to move this so you can see it a little bit better. I don't know. I'm trying to get it in view for you better. But you can see how I smudged up here. But when you use cutters to cut some of this out, that really won't matter. Now, what I would do if I was going to immediately cut something out of here, I would take another piece of pearl clay and I'd run it through my machine and make sure it was prepared to use. I would process it first, and then I would run it through with a texture sheet like I've shown you so often. And I would use that for the back of it, but I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do from here on. Let me just show you one of my cutters, though. I'll sneak over here and get it. just lately, these have been kind of my favorite cutters. Let me show you these. And so I just have to pick, not sure which one is going to do it for me, but probably, can't do it in front, probably this one. And you know, when you have something like this, you just kind of can hold it over and see what you're going to get. And decide how you want to cut. That'd be pretty. Or you could even use some smaller ones and get some single. Do you see what I'm saying? Get some single ones in there with a little green to it. That would be pretty. Here I would cut too much of the flower out, I think. I have to decide on that. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to use. But I have these cutters that I might use. I've got some other ones. I've got, oh, maybe a square one would be pretty too. It all depends on what you're going to do with the piece or the pieces after you cut them out. Do you want a necklace? Do you want earrings? And so on and so forth. So I'm just going to kind of decide that because I'm not exactly sure yet. But that was fun. And I hope you learned something along with me. I really, really like that. I think that's very pretty. And what I'm thinking is if I had a stencil, you know, that was just smaller, that the cutouts were just a little bit smaller, and I laid that over the clay, I would cover more of the clay with it. And then I could use smaller pieces and get more in, if you know what I mean, smaller cutters. So, I'm happy with that. I think I'll just leave it at that for today, and I will show you on another day what I decided to do with it. I just have to give it some thought. I think what I'm going to do, though, is take one of my tiles, and my little white tiles, and set it on a tile for a little bit today, and give it some more thought, and see what else I might want to do before I cut it. If I do that, I will definitely show you what I made with them. Okay? Well, that's all for today. I hope you really enjoyed it. I've been doing a few of other things too. Maybe I should show you a couple of things. I have to get up from my chair for a minute to do that. Okay. I'll just show you these. I'm playing around, trying to figure some things out. Let me move this for now. I just really like that. Okay, I'm going to move this kind of up here a little bit further and these out of the way, but I'll show you what I've been kind of working on. Do you see how these colors are kind of blended together? And also there's a texture on the top and a texture on the bottom. That texture is kind of a woodsy texture. I'll show you this too. There you go. These I'm going to make necklaces out of. That kind of almost looks Hawaiian, doesn't it? As does this one. So I've been working on various things. This beige color is called ecru or ecru. Maybe ecru. And I really think that's pretty. And as I blended ecru and this beautiful blue together, that I had left over from something else, I got a little bit of a tone of green in here. I just thought that was so pretty. And I cut smaller ones so I could have something for earrings as well. So that's one thing. And then I've also made these, and I did that with Pearl X. I made a sheet of flowers. Maybe I can lift it up a little bit. My hands are so dry. Excuse my dry hands. But as you can see, let's lift this one up too. These are flowers. Yeah, that's the right way. I made a sheet of flowers, and then I decided to go from corner to corner with my Pearl X and put color on there. And then I decided, again, I used this cutter, and I decided what I wanted to see when I had a necklace made. So I just thought that was really pretty as well. The backs also have Pearl X on them and a texture, as you can see. And as soon as I saw, I have a friend who lives in Iowa, and she works at a Home Depot in the flower department, you know. So, yes, she's one of those needed employees, bless her, and protect her, Lord. But she saw these, I sent her pictures of them, and she would love to have some jewelry made out of either one of those so she could wear it to work. And she's an artist. She is an amazing artist. So she just really, she appreciates my fooling around with clay. Anyway, so that's all for today. That is all for today. I hope you have enjoyed this. I know I have. And we'll get together again, make something out of clay soon. Until then, be blessed. Bye-bye.